Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So we are going to jump right on in with the projects. As you guys know, my daughter's quinceañera is coming up very soon, and I wanted to tackle some projects on my own because why not, you know? So for our first project, I'm gonna go ahead and print out anything and everything I need in the color gold. That was words, butterflies, crowns, designs, anything like that. I didn't want to pull my Cricut back and forth during projects, so I went ahead and printed everything out. So for our first project, we are going to be decorating a robe for my daughter. She really wanted a robe for when she was getting her hair and makeup done. As you guys know, a quinceañera dress is very heavy and very big. And the last thing you want to do is, cut off one of your t-shirts because you can't get out of it after your hair is done. So this was definitely going to make that process a lot more easier. A few things I learned while doing this: make sure your iron is on the lowest setting if you're using satin. Make sure you're using parchment paper to make sure you don't burn anything. And then just take your time. Count to 20, 20 seconds. Take it off and make sure you're pressing, not going back and forth movement, just like pressing down and then taking it off. If you feel like it hasn't stuck on there, or it's not, the adhesive hasn't stuck, then go back in there and reapply some heat and it should be good to go. Like I said, I would go slowly and try to take off the vinyl. If I noticed we were good to go, I would take it off. If I felt like it wasn't sticking, I would reapply the heat to just make sure it was, stuck on there. So for our next project, I'm going to be decorating these fans. I had already put Vivi's Quince and the date of the party on the back, and I felt like something was missing. After looking at them for like about a week, I was like, no, I need to add something a little bit, to give it something. So I decided to order these tiny little bows on Amazon, and I thought they were super cute, and I was like, okay, maybe they'll give it that little, oomph that I'm looking for. And then I also ordered some tassels because I saw a lot of people, who decorated these. They had a little tassels on the bottom. I also ordered these on Amazon, and I thought it would give it that look that I was wanting. I did have a lot of trouble trying to put these tassels on because I wasn't quite sure how I was going to put them on. I didn't realize there was like a little hole on the back part of the fan where you could tie these on. And then when I realized this, I realized that it wasn't gonna look the way I wanted. I really wanted the name to be in the front and the date in the back, and well, now they're backwards. Now we're going to have the date in the front and the name on the back. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look bad, it's just not what I was wanting, but it's okay. Like, I showed it to my daughter and she's like, Mom, it still looks really pretty. And I was like, yeah, you're right. As you can see, there's the little hole that I was talking about, but yeah, it still looks just the way I wanted it, except now the date is in the front and the name is on the back. But other than that, it still looks really cute, and I really prefer this as a party favor. I had also ordered these tiny little bags to put every single one of these fans inside, so they were ready to go for the party. One thing I would definitely recommend to anybody ordering off Amazon, especially bulk size for parties: count your inventory as soon as you receive it, because I was shortage one of these bags and I didn't realize it until like a month later, and I could not return or ask for my money back or anything like that. So during the party, there's something that they call the shoe exchange. It's becoming of like growing up a teenager, you know, becoming a young lady. You switch your tennis shoes for your high heels, they would say. And I wanted something very cute to put those shoes in for my daughter. I had first thought about making a glass box, but I was in Hobby Lobby one day and I just ran across this box. It was originally $14.99, but they had their 40% off sale and I only got it for $8.99, which I thought was awesome. And we are going for the Enchanted Forest theme, a very moody enchanted forest. And I just thought this was super cute and it fit, you know, the theme. So I decided to stain it in the color Early American. That's actually one of my favorite stains and I use it for a lot of projects in my home. And it actually took very well. The only places I had trouble were like the areas where they had glued it together. But yeah, other than that, it stained pretty good. So this right here, I found this as I was leaving the area where I got the box. It happened to catch the corner of my eye. They were only 99 cents. I also found some other little details to add on the box that were also 99 cents. And I was like, this box could use something like this. So these right here are going to go on the bottom right there, and it's just gonna give it some extra, you know, something. It just, I don't know, it looks like an enchanted box if you ask me. And now it's, you know, a little bit more higher up as to when it's not on there, the little feet, it sits down on the table. And I just really like that look. I don't know, there's something about it that just caught my eye. And these right here are also going to go on the box, but they're going to be on the corners, on the top. I just felt like it needed some details and I was like, okay, yeah, this is gonna look good. One thing I really liked about these, it came with the nails and it came with the little screws, and it didn't give me a lot of trouble, except that they're really tiny. But other than that, they were actually very easy to put on. So in the same aisle where I found all the other little, you know, accents for the box, I found these little tags that have this similar design to the other things that I used. And as you can see here, the box has two big flowers and I just felt like it was missing something. So I felt like, okay, I'm gonna grab these tags, I'm gonna cut them off because they were pretty long, and then I will stick them and glue them on top just so it gives it like that 3D effect. And I felt like that's what finished the box. It definitely looks more enchanted and it just fits with the theme. It's like you found this enchanted box, you know, in this forest, and it's gonna be for her shoes for the party, but I felt like this could also, you know, hold all her special items after the party, and it could be like her little memory box afterwards. So we know for a fact that a teenager is not about to wear high heels all night under a dress. So we decided to decorate some tennis shoes for my daughter. I bought these tennis shoes on Amazon. They're like a dupe for the Converse. I really didn't want to buy Converse. They were $60, and if I messed those shoes up, I was really not gonna love myself. So instead, I found some dupes and bought a bunch of, little glitters and gems and pearls and just a little bit of everything, because I had a vision and I was gonna see if it was gonna happen. But like I said, I bought everything. I've had this for a while before I actually started, to decorate them, because I really wasn't quite sure what I was gonna do. But like I said before, I had already printed out everything. I had names, I had crowns, I had butterflies, because I knew I was gonna do some type of style, but I just wasn't sure what exactly. But for the one thing I did have, for sure that I knew I was going to do is I was going to take these laces off. I wanted to make my own style of lace, and I thought a ribbon satiny lace would go so much better with the quinceañera. So what I did first is I took, the old lace off. And then the lace that I took off, I actually used that to measure out how much of the ribbon I was going to need, because I wasn't just gonna cut a random piece of ribbon and then hope it fit. No, I used the laces that I took off to measure the amount of ribbon I was going to need for the shoe. So when I was putting the new shoelace on, I noticed that the tip of the shoelaces were starting to fringe or get a little loose, and I didn't like that. And so at the beginning I was showing you, I made a little practice run first to see if I liked how it looked. So what I did is I grabbed a piece of clear tape, I twisted the ends of the lace, and then I wrapped the tape around the lace. I didn't make it too thick and I didn't make it too thin. It has to be like a perfect piece of tape. I learned that. So once I had it nice and tight and it was where I wanted it, I then took my lighter and I warmed up the end. Just be careful because you don't want to burn yourself, but warm it enough where the tape gets very mushy and squishy, and that way you're able to smooth it out with your fingertips. And after you do that, you have a perfect tip for the end of your shoelace. And it was very easy, very quick. Just be careful because you don't want to burn yourself. But here you see you have the end of the tip, and now you don't have all that fringy, coming out at the end of the tip and ruining your lace and your hard work. So for the shoes, I knew for a fact we were going to put like her name, mis quince, butterfly, crowns, jewels. I knew for a fact we were going to do all of that stuff on the shoes. And putting on her name and the crowns and all that, it was a little hard just because my hand can only fit so far into the shoe. And then I was using a pair of shorts of my younger one, so I wouldn't burn myself, because even though my hand was on the back side, I still didn't want to burn myself. Putting these jewels on was also a pretty difficult task, just because the little jewel stick that I had broke on me, so I wasn't even able to use it at all. So I had to think, like, what can I use for the jewels so that way it makes it easier on me. And I started using tweezers because that made the process so much easier and so much quicker. All right, everybody, so we've made it to the end. So for our last project, we're going to be spray painting and decorating these baskets. So for the color, I'm spray painting them in gold in the Rust-Oleum brand. Make sure it has that very shiny cap. That's my favorite one. I just like the color and it looks really, really nice. It also holds up really, really well. So since you guys know we're going with the Enchanted Forest theme, I really wanted this to look like the flowers and the garland were growing from the basket. I can't lie to you guys though, I did make the bigger basket prior to making the smaller basket because I wasn't really sure where I wanted the flowers and the garland to be. So I had to play with the other one first, you know, rearrange the flowers, mess up and do it again, and it just took me a while before I was like, okay, I like this is what we're gonna do. So I decided to wrap the garland around the bottom and then half of the handle, and then I decided to position the flowers in like a crescent moon style on one side of the basket. I was very happy the way they turned out. The only difference between the small and the big basket is because the small basket, you know, is small, the amount of roses I had put on the big one was good enough. But then I had to go add more flowers to the bigger basket because it looked kind of empty. After seeing the little one, I was like, I need to put more flowers on the bigger one because now it looks too empty and it doesn't look like the small one. But yeah, remember, DIYing is like makeup. If you don't like something, you can take it off, put something new on. I mean, that's the fun of, you know, doing crafts and DIYs, that you make it your own. If you mess up, you can fix it. Nothing is permanent. It's just paint. It's just like makeup. It's just makeup. So our final, you know, thing, little to give it a little oomph, I put the little butterflies that I also ordered on Amazon. We are gonna have a lot of butterflies around the party, just so it gives it that, you know, Enchanted Forest look. But yeah, I really like how these baskets turned out, and I hope you did too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I was able to give you some ideas, you know, for your quinceañera. I hope your moms, you know, look at it and be like, oh, you know what, let's try that and make it your own. You know, it's your quinceañera, give it your pizzazz. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys in our next video. Y'all guys have a wonderful day.